Hello and welcome to Project Love Thy Neighbor. Today I'm going to be giving a testimony of my own, telling a story of my life and how it's led me to want to pursue the ministry and pretty much a online ministry. Okay, so it starts out, little, I'm a baby. My childhood was fairly normal. There was a lot of fighting in my household, but none of it was physical, all of it was verbal. Nextly, I grew up in church, in a Baptist church to start off with, here in my hometown, and then we moved on to a Pentecostal church. At the time, church was just kind of like a second nature sort of thing. Like I knew that we had to go to church, but didn't really know why. So at one point, I just stopped wanting to go to church, but I had to go anyways because I was so young. I had to do what my mom told me to. I got bullied a lot in school. Life is tough whenever you're younger. A lot of times. Especially in school. School was just so... I didn't like school very much. Whenever I was younger. Now, whenever I got older, of course, I loved school. I loved going there, hanging out with my friends, and doing what I had to do to get out of there. But when I was younger, I got bullied a lot. None of it was good at all. None of it taught me any lesson other than to not trust people at the time. And yeah, at the time I was still going to church, but the church that I went to, they had that's the people that bullied me at school. They went to that church, so in my mind, God and this mental anguish correlated together. And that's kind of what happens whenever you add in, your mind brings in and compares things from an earthly perspective and a spiritual perspective. Whenever you try to combine the two, say try new things at church, whenever you try to combine the two, it really starts to lean towards one side. And with that, it really leans, in my perspective, church leaned a whole lot more towards the earthly side of things. And in my opinion, we shouldn't mix those things up too terribly much. Now, of course, I'm saying that as I'm preaching through a computer to you, or, well, to nobody, myself, but you're watching it, and I'm sitting there saying that we shouldn't mix these things up, but to an extent, yes, but not so much. We shouldn't compare things. We shouldn't look at spiritual things and think earthly things, is what I mean. So, I ended up leaving from the school where I was getting bullied and going to another one, and that was whenever I started attending church at a much, much bigger church. It had at least 10,000 people in it. Maybe not that much. I know it was in the thousands. But it was a huge church, right? And the youth group was tremendous. They had several groups. They had a youth minister for every single age group. And it was crazy. It was like school going to that church. And I actually really liked it. I learned a lot. I got to hang out with the same people every time I went. And we got to move up throughout the years. But, I mean, it was super fun. I met some good friends there. I learned a whole lot. And then I joined, this was about my sophomore year in high school, I joined NJROTC. And that kind of gave me a good sense of responsibility, because I had to keep my uniform clean and all that stuff whenever I wore it to school on Wednesdays. I had to learn a whole lot. There was a lot of conditioning, and it taught me a whole bunch. And during that time, I actually started going to another church, because I sort of fell out of church a little bit. But then I gradually got right back into it, going to another church with one of my ROTC friends. And that was when I realized my calling to the ministry, because I absolutely loved going to that church. I was there every Wednesday, every Sunday, every moment that I could be up there. I volunteered for fundraisers. I stepped up and I gave my testimony at the time, and I gave a couple messages, and it was wonderful. I absolutely loved it there. But then I can't remember what happened, but I fell out, and I felt so guilty about something. I really can't remember what it was. I don't know if maybe I tried to date somebody at that church and got my heart broken. I can't remember, but I fell out of it big time, and that was when I left from Monroe, from that school, and went to here to Epps, Louisiana, with the school that I graduated from. And I got really big into drinking. I started smoking weed all the time, and I just recently got out of that. I say recently, at least a month ago. I told myself I was going to get back into this big time, and I did. And this is my calling. I've been saved again. I just got baptized last night, actually. I have that video if anybody wants to see it. I might can attach it to this, but I'm not sure if I can. Just let me know if you want to see it. And then what made me want to pursue God again was my fiance is pregnant, and she's actually due in a couple weeks. It's been a while since I've found out the news, December. But about halfway through that, I realized that I needed to start making some changes in my life, and I gradually started getting better and better with my depression, with my anxiety that just formed over the years. And here we are. I'm doing so much better. I was saved. I had some people pray over me and washed away all that nonsense that was holding me down, all that anxiety, all that depression, the addiction I had to cigarettes and to marijuana and into alcohol, and I'm done with it. So I'm here to do my part and to serve the Lord. I love you guys. You're all wonderful. You've made this a very special day because you're special. Have a blessed day. See you guys later.